So once again, I'm Dustin. This is Tabletop to Keyboard, where I will be your storyteller for this World of Darkness game, because that's what they call them in World of Darkness, storytellers. And I have a cast of characters with me, and yes, I use Levi's art for Taper. He's super excited. I don't know why he doubts me. I don't know why he doubts me so much. I'm like, if you build it, I will use it. And he builds it, and then he thinks I'm not going to use it, but I did. I used it. Totally.
Guys, you will get Taper. This is not a phase.
Okay. No.
So fun fact. As of last night, my plan, because one thing we do here at Tabletop to Keyboard, our Wednesday game, Don't Sleep, that Levi runs, is very chat influenced and involved. And so I want to keep that as a theme for the Wednesday night games, no matter which game is running.
Oh boy.
I have considered making Taper an in-game character that is ran completely by chat. Like, everything that goes on that Taper does in your guys' coterie is only determined by chat at any point in time. So it's just, he's a completely just chaotic character that just, that chat runs completely throughout the game. So I don't know. I'll work on some rules for that in the meantime, but we're not doing that right now because I didn't have time to plan that out.
Whoever Buffrin is, he's got a glorious beer.
So yes, the best beer in the business. I was just about to do some introductions. So moving across our overlay, if you're familiar here at Tabletop to Keyboard, you will know Jeff. Jeff, tell us who you are and a little bit about your character that you're going to be playing tonight.
Well, Dustin stole my thunder. My name is Jeff. That was my introduction. I was going to do it myself. But I'm playing... I'm playing Nathan Sanchez, who is a Bruja, and he is... Huge that chat runs things. Yeah, I was going to change it, but it's on the overlay, so it's too late. But he is a character who, at one point, thought that he could change this system. He went into political science in college to undo the wrongs that were in the government. He ended up dropping out after doing an internship and realizing that shit just doesn't work. And he became kind of an Antifa, kind of Occupy activist kind of guy. So he's in the streets pushing the agenda and somehow gets scooped up in this World of Darkness shit.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Now, sliding over on our overlay here is a new face here at Tabletop to Keyboard. He's a good friend of mine. We played in a few other games in the past together. This is Buffrin. Buffrin, tell them who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about your character, Thomas Weller.
Beard. Glorious.
I come from the land of Beardlandia, where I'm accompanied by the Beard Maiden who sits there and is thinking about starting an OnlyFans just to braiding my beard and nothing more.
Give me like that OnlyFans and I'll put it in the
You
chat.
think I'm joking? You think I'm joking?
Just watching
It's being kicked around. That's it, baby. Rub the oil in. Anyway. You might see me if you go to the online convention since the start of that which should not be named on YouTube because, fear of monetization is a real thing. I help out with conventions a lot. Tonight, I am playing Thomas Weller, who is a Tremere, and basically I was just a guy who was studying arcane and arcane stuff and old lore, and just got found some of the right books in the right places, and got picked up by the Tremere because he's looking like he's going down the right path in life. Yes, okay.
Fix that.
All right.
He's someone right. Demons. He's our kind of guy.
Once again, I am Dustin, your storyteller. I'll be running the show here shortly once we get going. Moving over, we got Levi. Levi, tell them a little bit about yourself and your character second.
I'm Levi. I am the local Forever DM and one of the art guys. Hi. Thanks. Dustin, you need... Really?
That seems impossible.
Turned up? I think. All right. If you say so.
Seems crazy talk to me.
It does. I'm also the loud one.
All right.
So we'll see how this goes.
Levi's turned up.
He says
there we
better.
go.
Okay. Fantastic.
I'm the Forever DM locally, Levi. So this is awesome that I'm getting to play Dustin's a Good Man. So that said, I am second. Hi. Nice to meet you. I am not involved in the rooting out of a grand conspiracy involving a global AI that is controlling everyone's actions, and I am destined to destroy because I will not let the multi-headed Hydra take everything we have. I'm just here for tech support and help everybody out.
And last but not least, rounding out our cast and characters is Cameron. Cameron,
That's me.
tell them about Omar.
All right. So Omar, in his pre-vampire life, he is that guy who's always got the new scheme going.
Cam is also too quiet.
You know, he's got the. Oh, maybe I should I wait?
That's fine. Here, I'll turn you up. Just
Okay.
keep talking. You're
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So that guy who's like, oh man, I got this great idea. My friend's gonna help me invest. We're gonna get this business running, and it's always like this weird, not quite pyramid scheme. That's kind of him. He kind of falls for all of it, but he always takes it seriously, and he's gonna be taking that mentality into vampirism. So he's really bad at social interaction. People think he's just weird all the time, and he just sounds like methed out Michael Keaton all the time.
Wow.
That's why people just they don't really know what to do when they talk to him. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. I got a great idea, guys. Listen to me on this one. I got a good feeling.
Beachfront Nevada property is what we're talking about here.
Absolutely, it's only a matter of time.
All right. So just
The vampires
as
will be there.
a bit of a forward to get things kicked off, I do want to just quickly, for those of you who may be World of Darkness aficionados out there, I just want you to take a moment and realize that we are not using the 5th ed rules. We are actually using the rules that are near and dear to our heart from our time in the 90s when we first picked up these books. For my players, most of us, Jeff being the exclusion, don't actually have the newest books yet. I think we may pick them up at some point where we'll get a chance to digest them, and maybe you'll see a V5 game somewhere down in the future. This is not it, however. So this is using the old school, like 1998, 99 circa rules,
best.
where things like Malkavians got dementate and all kinds of crazy shenanigans was going on. How-ever, we're homebrewers here at Tabletop to Keyboard, and while I love the lore and setting of World of Darkness, I never use it. I always create my own world. And so, in spite of what the 5e books might say about some cool things and everything else, for this game, I went out on a limb and made my own shit, because that's what I do best. So, for those of you who hop in here, if you're World of Darkness fans and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about, that's not how that works. It works because I say so. But more importantly, I just want you to realize I fully understand that. And that is not the point of this game. So this game is to give my friends, and mostly it was Boffrin's idea. I have to blame Boffrin. That's why
It's
he's
all
here.
someone else's fault.
It's between him and Liching Hour. It's their fault that we're here. I was playing some Viva La Dungeon with Boffrin, and he's like, "You should." Afterwards, we had some drinks, and he was like, "You should run some World of Darkness." Here we are. So that's how we got here. So anyway, just to put that out there as a forward, those are the sets of rules we're using. So if the rolls sound weird, and you're like, "I don't know if that's right," that's exactly how we got here and exactly what we're doing. So just for general character knowledge. These characters, I had them intentionally create the lowest gen characters they can possibly be. They are going to be brand new embraces. They are all about to wake up in a cold dorm type scenario where they will have to go through the accounting with their sires in a series of somewhat educational exercises where they will learn about what vampirism is. Many of them may had some preconceived notions about what vampirism is, and things such as the Camarilla and the Sabbat, and things of that nature. And those of you who are fans of ours here at TT2KB have probably never seen much of the World of Darkness, so this would be a nice kind of introduction for you guys as well, before I turn this whole thing
walk down memory lane
up on top of its head.
Mhm.
And
This
then
is what I started with.
Yeah,
This before I played D&D.
The times are relatively current times.
I just cleared my browser of Fang on Fang.
Yes, Rio Bravo. That's fantastic. So,
Remember, lick those wounds, baby. Lick those wounds.
Gotta do it.
I
A lot of
have,
licking. So yucky.
whenever I run any kind of modern game, I almost always run it in the same fictitious city that I use called New Haven. So this game will take place in New Haven. State doesn't matter. It's an American large metropolitan city.
Maine.
I'm now going to
Yeah, we'll say Maine. I like the idea that
due
Maine
diligence
is...
for all of us.
As long as we don't run into our our all flesh must be eaten characters.
Yeah, no.
I'll be happy if we don't run into Amanda tapping and like wind up on a sci-fi channel. You know what I'm saying?
Good call.
Nice.
So we're running in relatively modern technology, which for many of my players, maybe Boffin excluded, is a relatively new scenario for most of them playing vampires, because in the 90s when we played with 90s technology, which we all had pretty good workarounds for how that technology worked in unison with vampirism. But I decided that without reading the 5e book and what they had to say about the subject, I went ahead and decided for myself how things worked, and that's what I did to create the setting for this game. So
Missouri, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, West Virginia, Connecticut.
whichever
What
one.
is that?
That's a real conglomeration of states right there.
It is.
Mhm.
They're
I
not
know they
even
all
Yeah.
touch it, but
So
I figured hand warmers are popular with us, right? You know, those little packs, just click them open, rub them against your hands, and, you know, you got enough heat to run like touchscreens.
Nice.
So, you guys all, I don't particularly matter where your character technically comes from background-wise, as far as the one thing that you all have in common is, for the most part, you don't fully remember your embrace. It happened to you. It happened relatively recently. You're not even sure how long you've been under. You can describe when you talk to each other. You didn't. Most of you didn't tell me up to this point, so I don't even know exactly what your embrace was like. All that matters is it was recent.
Mm-hmm.
There was not a particularly ton of introduction to who your sire is, and you're all about to find yourselves waking up individually in a dark room in your own individual bathtub.
Oh, that's so sweet.
bathtub, is it filled with ice?
No, it is not filled with ice.
Do I
Okay.
have my
I check my back for cut marks around the kidney area.
You know, you don't find any cut marks around the kidney area. You all
Have they
awaken to an unfamiliar smell. You don't know what it is, it's dark. Those of you who have auspex, it is far less dark, and you are far more acutely aware that what you're smelling, even though you're not fully, you didn't even know it had a smell prior to this, is the smell of blood. You feel something wet dripping on your forehead. You are hungry as fuck. So everyone, first roll of the game is going to be a willpower roll.
Oh, perfect.
Difficulty
That's,
7.
Just gonna straight up Rosh-track or straight up just frenzy.
7, you said, huh? All right.
Do ones remove successes?
Yes, they do, per these rules.
Uh-oh.
And a 10 explodes.
I have
Well, it's
2
not a
successes.
botch, but it is a failure.
Okay, so is
Digital
any
dice
first off, has
bastards.
anyone botched?
No.
No. That's good. No one has
That's
botched.
good. That's
So
good.
for those of you out
Yeah.
there,
Don't need
dice pools in this game, you create a dice pool based on an attribute and an ability. In this case, with willpower, it's conscious self-control, which are two virtues. But you roll a d10, the difficulty is then 7. You just need 1 success. 1 die to roll a 7 without any 1s, and you succeed. So far, I don't know if anyone has actually accomplished that. Boffer, how did you do?
I got 5 successes.
5 successes.
Dang.
Okay.
I had a couple of explosions. I was
Okay,
like,
good deal. If you roll a 10, it
Aw.
counts as 1, and you get to roll it again for another attempt at a 7 or above in this case. Cam,
Yep.
how did Omar do?
2.
2 successes. Okay. So for those of you who failed, you wake up and you realize that you are feeling the most extreme pain of hunger you have ever experienced your whole life. You have not yet realized how cold you feel. You have not realized how pale you are. All that you know
I need to
at this
stealth the
point-
fuck out of this room. So I'm going to the door, and I want to be as quiet as possible because I have no idea where I am.
You had 0 successes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, you go to get yourself out of the bathtub, and you bump into, and you have Auspex, correct? Are you?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you using it? Do you have
What?
your Auspex on? Okay, I assume you do. So
It's on because it's flooding me because I don't know I have it.
right, yeah. So you wake up, and unlike a lot of the people who don't have Auspex or Auspex activated, you wake up with it innately on, and you have blood all over your face. You can smell it. It's dripping. It's running down. It's in your hair.
Oh fuck!
You can
Oh,
see.
okay.
You can see
Not again.
hair hanging down almost in front, almost to your face. Is something hanging up above you that's dripping that blood, and you instinctively, because you have 0 successes, find yourself grasping to it and chomping down with your teeth on its neck. That blood begins to fill your mouth. You take in enough blood to fill yourself up.
And it's like the best thing on earth.
It is the most. It is like rare filet mignon.
Oh, it's so
It
good.
is. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, God.
You don't even miss that there's not A1 steak sauce involved. It's just that good. You're all in. It's you find yourself just grasping hold of it, and you don't even care that it's moving.
That's wonderful. I think Levi froze at that statement. That was amazing.
At me?
Jeff, you
That
had
was
0
the best
successes
time.
as well.
I also had 0 successes. It's true.
You find
Looking around
yourself.
at the Saul situation just briefly before diving into the blood bag.
Situation.
You
I won't
most
see if there is
certainly.
a Saul.
You most certainly find yourself in the exact same sort of situation. You
Yeah.
wake up, you are hungry, and you find yourself grappled to something that is bleeding, and you're hungry and you're drinking. And this will go on for 20 to 30 seconds before you finally satiate that hunger to the point that you realize that what has happened. Those of you who succeeded, Omar, you are hungry. You realize that the stuff that's dripping across your forehead and your face and across your mouth tastes exquisitely good. But you have enough control to realize that this thing hanging up there above you, it's not some deer that's been field dressed or a cow at a slaughterhouse or something. It's a person. And it's moving. Not a lot. It is struggling to get free, just sort of still twitching and moving.
Oh God.
Male or female? Can I tell?
It's male.
Hey, man. You all right up there? Hey.
It dangles above you.
Hey.
Thomas Weller, you have a similar situation, but having 5 successes, you are able to put aside your hunger. And I will let you get up out of the bathtub, push the person aside, and be able to act more freely than the others at this point.
God, why am I hungry? And why does it smell like pennies in here? Jesus, these pennies smell good.
You have a level of Auspex as a Tremere,
Yep.
and yours is on as well. So in this dark room, you can see that there are like 8 bathtubs, and these are the large porcelain, old school, like 80s bathtubs. And they're just lined up with a otherwise tile floor, a floor drain, and you can see chained from the ceiling above yours and a couple of the other bathtubs nearby are people. And it looks as though they have been it looks like there's cuts on their arms and on their backs, and that that blood is running down them. You can see a door. You can see a door off to your left. It's just a single entrance door. Looks to be wooden. Nothing too weird. This room's not terribly big, but it's a very tight room as far as there's all these these. I mean, if it was it would almost seem to you like maybe it was some sort of like a military cold dorm, if you would, the way bunks are almost set up, except they're not bunks, they're bathtubs, and there's people hanging above them.
What's wrong with this place? Why am I so hungry? And why does that penny smell just smell delicious?
Two of them erupt up out of the tubs and grab hold of it and immediately begin to bite down on the neck.
Holy crap! Is this some kind of like zombie film? Am I getting punked?
A third
Still
one
trying to get-
raises up out of his tub, kind of examining the body hanging up above it.
It's a juice bar. Oh my god.
It's a lot of clamato.
Oh.
The best juice is people juice.
Hey, man. Hey. Start poking. Hey. Hey, when I'm talking to you, you should talk back to me. Hey. 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 He just keeps hey and pointing and poking this guy.
Make an intelligence medicine roll.
Intelligence medicine. Look at that.
Just
That
one
guy
to
I don't even know where to find medicine. I've got one. Yes. All right. 7 is
Yep.
the
Yeah,
7
standard is
difficulty?
7. This one.
1.
One success. You don't know much about medicine, perhaps, but from what you're seeing, this looks as though
Thanks, Air.
someone who is a bit sedated.
Oh, I can't see anybody. It's dark in here, right?
You don't have aspect, so it's dark.
Right. Okay.
But when you get up close enough to them, you see their eyes look kind of glazed over, and they're twitching a bit, but they're not struggling, and they don't seem to recognize like they're hearing your voice, like they're in some big state.
So I've definitely heard 2 other people moving around pretty violently, and I've heard one person talking. Right.
Yeah, you hear one talking, you hear a couple others biting, and when they bite, you get a bit of a moan. You get a bit of a moan and groan from the people that they chomp down on, but
I don't know they're chomping on people. I can't see them.
well, you can't fully see it. But you hear you hear chains rattling again, and you can feel the chain on the person hanging up there above you. You're not tied down in any way.
Hey, everybody, whoever's in here, I got a guy over here. He's not in good shape. Somebody should help him, but I don't know how. So I get up and I want to get out of the tub and start like just feeling around.
The two of you who fed, you find yourselves full. You drink until you're full. Standard Vampire Masquerade rules, your blood pool would be a D10 to start out with. So if you want to roll a D10 to see what your starting blood pool was, to see how many points you take from this individual, because you failed, you will take the remainder to get to 10, because that's your max blood pool at this point.
I got 7.
So you took
Like
3.
a 1.
Oh, so you drain yours dry. So
Great.
when you're done, both of you will suffer a 1 penalty to difficulty as you feel the effects of the opiates that they were drugged with to keep them docile. You feel yourself go into a calm as though you yourself have taken the opiates themselves. You feel yourself numb, you're calm, which is probably a good thing, because this will keep you from freaking out a little bit.
Is this guy got clothes? Is this a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
Is he alive anymore?
Good question. Let me check.
Survey says no.
Probably not.
Because I took 7 points, so probably not.
Wait, you... Oh, I thought you started
You
with
said
7.
I rolled a
You
1.
took 7. Oh, he's dead. Sorry.
No, I rolled a 7 for my starting blood pool, so I take
then you need 3. That's what I thought.
Okay,
Okay.
then I only
yes.
take 3.
You took 3. Okay. He is... Well, it was hard to tell before. The look on his face is still somewhat frozen to you. He still looks somewhat glazed over. If you would like to make an int medicine roll, I will let you also determine whether you believe he's still alive.
What's the difficulty?
7, unless I tell you otherwise.
Jesus.
But I'm sorry, 8, because you're under opiate induced.
Botch.
You botch.
Classic.
You're quite sure you've killed him.
Bro nuts.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I check his ID.
He doesn't have one on him.
Oh, man.
I'm getting out of here. I go to the door.
You stand up and you see... Would you like to describe what Thomas Weller looks like, Bofford?
Yeah, basically he's kind of a clean-cut guy. Has kind of a Nordic bend to him. Oh wait, does he have Auspex enough to be able to see?
He does.
Yeah.
He has Auspex. That's why I'm having you describe yourself.
Gotcha. And he's just looking kind of confused and sniffing constantly, like just kind of lightly. Like it smells good, but why? Why do the pennies smell good? And he's just confused and has this look of like, God, I could eat, but where's the food?
Did you put me in here? Who are you?
Fuck, man. Who drugged me?
Who the fuck are you?
Wait, was he one of the ones who like reached up and like chopped down?
Yeah, he was just a second ago. Looks like he was necking on some dude hanging upside down, and now he's. Describe yourself, Levi. Describe second.
Bald with a goatee, and I probably have just like blood down my jaw at this point because I didn't even. I'm just moving in one direction here.
What
Did
the
you
hell
put
is
me in
wrong
here?
with you?
Give me the.
Why is that?
And I run.
What the fuck did you eat? It smells delicious. You God.
All right.
I go down the hallway.
You start to see others coming out of the other bathtubs. Bofford, you can see the other two. So, Jeff, go ahead and describe yourself.
Well, Nathan is wearing a shirt that says "Fuck your drum circle," and pair of ripped up jeans.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, he is a young guy. He's probably in his late teens, early 20s. He is got like some short blonde hair, kind of spiky in the front. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
All right. And you also see the last guy coming up out of his bathtub, and that would be Omar. So, Omar, go ahead and describe yourself so Bofford knows what he's looking at.
All right. Omar is mid-late 20s. Has like not well dressed. Has like black dress pants on that have been washed probably 50,000 times over, so much that all the seams are just kind of faded. He's got a blue dress shirt on that's the same case, just looks like it's 1,000 years old. It's like 3 sizes too big. He is just like pretty hideous looking in general. He looks like the type of guy that just every 8 months or so will just shave his head and then just lets it grow, so it has no style to it at all. It's just kind of there. Like, he looks not put together, and he looks horribly ugly. Like, more ugly than a human should look.
Does he look like he's trying to sell me a slap chop? Or
No.
ShamWow?
No, he looks like he is...
That's, man, coming right for you.
Maybe
You're gonna
he's
love his
like
nuts.
the one IT guy at a really small business that can't really afford an IT guy. That's him. Not at all professional looking, like, but still is like required to wear dress pants and a dress shirt to work, but does not belong in it.
All right. So, again, you see them start to come up out of these bathtubs. The first one hops up, kind of gets in your face, runs towards the door. As you get to the door second, your Auspex still blaring. You hear the sounds of a television coming from the other side of the door.
I stop up against the door and I don't move at all. And I listen for what's on the other side. I also have a point of obfuscate, so I probably vanish at this point.
Okay. So go ahead and make your obfuscate roll for your
I don't. For level 1.
Oh, level 1, there's no roll. That's right. So yeah. So you get up there. You get up to the door. Your Auspex is blaring. You instinctively.
I'm just trying to listen to what's on the other side.
It sounds like somebody is watching an episode of Ozark.
Good show.
Netflix show Ozark. Sounds like they're binge. You hear him? You hear Marty Bird talking? It's in the zeitgeist. You've heard of it. You may. I don't know if you watched it or not. It doesn't matter. You hear. It's clearly somebody watching Ozark.
Lenny. Okay.
Occasionally, you hear the sound of somebody. It sounds like the springs in a couch. Like somebody's like moving on a couch.
I look around for a weapon.
You catch the smell of like low grade Aldi's potato chips, and you hear crunching.
Yes.
All right, I don't want to monopolize, so somebody else can go.
Low grade.
Omar, you poke at your guy, and you're not feeling hungry enough that you have to feed, but you are a little on the hungry side. You're kind of feeling around a little bit.
Is it safe to say I don't understand that I need to drink blood to not
It's safe
feel
to say
hungry?
you don't know that yet.
Okay, that's what I figured. I assume it's also safe to say that we do not understand that we have anything supernatural at this point. Okay.
Now, at this point, if you have anything, obfuscate, auspex, potence, those things may activate just on instinct.
Yeah.
But you're effectively baby rattlesnakes who don't know how to inject their venom.
Got it.
So you're.
Hey, everybody! There's got to be a light switch in here. Hey,
Man, what is
where's
this?
the light switch? So I'm gonna
What are
go.
you talking about?
I'm gonna go trying to find a wall.
It's plenty bright in here already. Can't you see? Are you blind?
Hey,
I don't
second.
know, man.
No.
I think I'm drugged or
No.
something.
There is a light switch right next to the door. Second, right where you would expect it.
Ah.
I'm not
All
turning
right,
on the
I'll,
watch.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just find a wall, and I'm gonna keep feeling around until I find a door or a window or a light switch.
You find.
I'll
the
tell him
wall.
when he gets close because you know that
Right.
that other guy who's at the door. I saw him murder someone for all I know,
That's true.
and you know, I am you know, just keeping my distance and just looking around, seeing if maybe I see any writing or you know something that could be indicative on things.
You don't notice anything on the walls. Nothing. You get kind of a mildewy smell when you're sniffing around in here until you get close enough to the door that you pick up the hint of potato chips and potentially some sort of pizza. All you're catching in here at this point is the feeling of the wet floor. The floor you can tell has been wet. It's not because you feel it with your feet so much, but as you take a step, you can kind of feel the splashing underneath your feet. And you can tell this floor has been hosed down a time or two.
I want to open this door as quietly as possible and leave it open and try and gauge what's going on in the next room.
As you build up a little courage to start to creak open that door, you turn the knob ever so slightly. It's not locked. So you realize you can, in fact, open this door. It's about that time when Omar finds a light switch there next to you and flips it on.
Flip it on.
Now, because you have time to watch this, Thomas,
Oh, okay.
you can drop your auspex. You're already bracing yourself for the normal human reaction of seeing light turned on in a rather dark room. So you're doing this at a more supernatural level, but it won't blind you. You'll just have the normal human. You would drop it instinctively before he would turn on that light switch, so you could see him going to do it. And you would have the disorientation, but it won't be bad enough that it blinds you. Second, on the other hand,
I do the trick of closing my dominant eye, so that way the weaker eye is the one that winds up blind. So that way, you know, when the light's on, I open up the dominant and close the weak.
The old pirates.
the old pirate trick. So those of you with normal vision, you have the normal disorientation of suddenly everything going from extremely dark to extremely light. Everything's blurry. You can now clearly see the people hanging up above the bathtubs you're in. There's a few other normal there's another series of bathtubs that don't have anyone in them right now.
Hey.
Hey,
You got raid.
raid.
Oh,
What's up?
yeah.
TPK roleplay. Welcome. We're playing some Vampire the Masquerade tonight. This is game session number 1. I didn't put the title on the screen.
The amount of people rating is
see
the
it
generation of our vampires.
That's true.
That's true. 13th
Oh
gen.
yeah.
I strong-armed them into only being 13th gen for this very reason. So
It hurt. It hurt.
it hurt his soul, but I didn't want to deal with that. So
We're continuing with our first baby steps into being vampires.
they're just learning what being a vampire in the World of Darkness is like. So they're currently inside of a rather large-sized bathroom with about 7 or 8 bathtubs lined up. Very little walking room otherwise. And they've all had chained-up bodies hanging up over their bathtubs, dripping blood on their head till it woke them up. Some of them frenzied to the point that they just finished off the person they were drinking from. And now they're stumbling around the room trying to find out what's behind the only exit to the room at the moment, door number 1.
And I just turned the light on.
And about that time, as the light turns on, Second creaks the door open.
I would like to try and stay quiet so I don't scream because I'm blind.
Make a dex stealth roll.
What's my difficulty?
+1 from normal, so you're at 8 because of the opiates.
1 success.
One
Because I
success,
rolled
that's
a 1
enough.
that removed the success, so I got
So
1.
you start.
I've rolled a
creeping
1
your
every
way.
time, guys. I've
You
rolled at
same.
least one of my dice
Yep.
been a 1 already.
Every time.
That seems right.
It's just
Great.
Does he have 2 successes or did he botch? Those are his options.
I have a single
Um,
success, an actual success.
Which is enough for right now. So you start to walk your way into what looks like a really shitty, run-down living room to like a farmhouse, sort of. It's a decent-sized room, but it's really run down. The floors are creaky. You can see that the wallpaper's kind of peeling off the walls. The roof is... The ceiling in this room is okay. You can see there's a light fixture. It's busted, hanging in the middle of the room. The only real light source you can see at the moment, and you can see the edge of a cloth couch with a really bad stripe pattern. And you can see the TV, which is around the corner a bit from where you're coming in. And you can just see the light from the TV spraying up there on the wall across from you from where you're entering. There is a small wall to your right that goes out, and then you can see the room opens up to your left. And as you move through the room a bit, there's somebody on the couch that starts to come into view. You see someone sitting there with long, stringy black hair, slightly balding on top. 3, maybe 4 chins deep, gigantic jaws, and can be no less than 600 pounds.
Oh my.
Sitting with bags of chips, just pimple and wart-covered face, big giant paws digging into bags of chips, shoving them into his mouth, chomping, with a giant, like Casey's 44-ounce size cola.
Hi, Nikki.
And no less than a stack of 4 to 5 pizzas. Some of them already opened, slices all over the place, crushed cans all over the floor. This person looks like maybe they have sat here and binged for who knows how many episodes of how many seasons of Ozark in a row. And who knows how many other shows before that, because it doesn't look like they have moved from this couch in quite some time.
Great.
And he looks your
and he
direction.
Probably can't chase me.
And he looks your direction and he says, "Oh, good, you're up. Well, come have a seat. We'll wait for the others to get up, too. You're missing the best part."
Ignore that and run down the hallway. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
You take off through the living room, right towards the front door. You hit the door. The door is locked. You fumble with locks and keys, and you realize this thing is padlocked shut. You look around. All the windows are boarded up. "Oh, Dad, don't be scared. Just come and sit. Your sire will be back later. Welcome to the hatchery. My name's Grub."
Your name is get me the fuck out of here. Get us all out of here. There's dead people back there.
You can't leave yet. You can't leave, you gotta sit here.
Man, what the hell's going on out there?
Oh, good, the others are waking up too.
Once I get my vision from lights being turned on, and I see that this room is full of horrible things, I'm like, whoa, this is not okay. And so
I start checking the body for ritual marks with using my occult knowledge.
The bodies in the room that are hanging, you mean? You don't see any ritual marks on them. Nothing of that sort. Are the others shy? Come out! Come out, hatchlings.
I go and plug the TV.
Hey! I was watching that.
Anything in here could be used like a weapon.
The chain. If you were to rip it down.
So, when you turn... I guess the light's on. So
you could assume... It looks like a bathroom. You could assume there might be some copper pipes in some places you could rip out of a wall with your potence if you were so inclined.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe I had that strength. That seems like a lot for a random dude. So I'll tentatively start stepping towards the door. Kind of looking at other people, seeing what they're doing.
I avoid the other three doing, like, Mexican standoff, where I don't put my back to any of them, which then makes it awkward as I try to rearrange myself back down the hall. Also, checking bodies not being checked for ID.
None of them have ID on them.
But they're clothed, but they have no ID whatsoever.
Yeah. All that stuff seems like it's been taken.
Once I can see that there's a door, I'm gonna go to the door and leave.
You walk over the door there. You walk into the room. You see the rather large, grotesque figure sitting there on the couch. And he looks at you and goes, "Oh, good. Child, come sit."
Hey, nice to meet you. And I turn around, I'm like shaking the door.
No, don't leave. You find yourself make a self-control
Oh
roll.
boy. Self-control.
You did not drink, so it's difficulty 7.
Checking bodies for ritual marks.
Right.
One success.
Fucking love that.
One success. As you're sitting there and you see this guy for the first time, you feel mildly at ease with him, Omar.
Oh. Hey. So, hey, what's going on in here? And, when can we open that door up? Let's see what's outside.
You're
it's a good
Omar.
idea.
You're Omar.
Yeah, yep, I am. That's right.
I'm Grub.
Hi, Grub. It's real nice to meet you, I promise.
You're a haunt like me. A haunt.
What?
A
what?
Nosferatu. You're one of us now.
Like the movie? I remember
Yes.
the movie.
Come back
Yeah,
to the room.
I don't know what that means.
I got a lot I have to explain to you before I can let you go.
Okay. Yep, I'm listening then. Let's do
But
explanations.
first,
I'd like to go.
We look to your explanations, and how about you open the door, and then we'll be happy to listen to anything you have to say.
And you know what? Tell me what the hell a 1930s vampire film has to do with, like, what's happening here.
Okay, so let's start
Maybe
over.
come stumbling in, kind of like off.
This is my first time ever doing this. So
Me too.
just bear with me. But my name is Grub, and I'm in charge of overseeing your the hatchery here for your emergence. So I provided you all with a light snack.
I turn to Tom. Do you know what's going on here?
I have no earthly idea. I know that Nosferatu is like German for vampire.
Right. Okay. I turn to Nathan. Do you know what's going on here?
Man, all I can say is this fucking hijacker rules. Let's get him.
Okay. The four of us If the four of us take the door with the heaviest object in here that we can all move, that's something more than listening to that.
You go out the door, you'll be dead in minutes.
He said he's just gonna explain some stuff and then he's gonna let us go. Let's just listen. Let's just see what he
I
says.
woke up in a room with a dead body.
Yep.
Somebody like that's just not going to let us go. You never go to a second location. Everybody knows that. We're already in the second location.
You know what?
Right.
Are the chips and pizza laying around?
Yes.
I go in to like try and take a bite of get some chips. I'm just like the whole time I'm like, man, you know what? I am so damn hungry. I just can't even right now. Ugh.
And you take a bite of that pizza and
Yep.
the garlic. Oh, the garlic.
Oh, the guy.
Oh, God. What the?
You hork the stuff up immediately. I believe you.
What? Oh my God. Why am I vomiting blood?
Look, not all of us get the gift of eating food anymore. Special like that. But, most of you, look, okay. Before you
God, just tell me where there's something to eat.
you each had a snack hanging up above your bathtub.
No, those are people. Those are people.
Yeah.
Those aren't snacks.
Those are snacks.
He's calling people snacks. Why are we still listening? Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, this
look,
isn't cool.
If you go out the door, I'm just telling you, you'll be dead in minutes.
Because you're going to kill us, Grub?
Nope. No.
Why are we going to be dead in minutes?
You don't know what you are yet.
I know exactly what I am, Grub.
What did you do
So
last
why
night?
am I going to be dead?
What did you
Probably
do
a
last
roofie
night?
by you, man.
Oh.
My 21st birthday, I went out drinking. Next thing I'm wake up in a bathtub. Fuck you, man.
Can I roll to recall
Embraced on his birthday.
any of my hazy memories that I am now realizing I don't have?
Yeah. I will let you make a conscience roll.
Conscience. Okay.
It's more of a conscious role.
I did not succeed. I did not
You
succeed.
I
try
know
to
is that I
remember
was
last
at a
night.
party.
You remember an email?
Thanks, Lich.
Thank you.
You remember an email? You remember going to meet someone? Everything after that's a blur.
Craigslist, man.
Mm.
Knew it. Don't ever listen to them on Craigslist.
It's always sketchy.
All I know is that I was researching. I found this book about old mummification rituals, and it was talking about these houses, House Hermes, House Tremere, and there were some weird, there were a medieval Magister cult.
Yeah,
Or
look,
part of the groups.
I don't want to be the one to break it to you, but that's all fake news. Now the Tremere part, you're onto something there. I'm Nosferatu, like Omar, but you are of a clan Tremere. Yes, that part is real. So if your book mentions anything about that might be more accurate. Your sires will all be
But
by
They weren't
shortly.
vampires. They were wizards.
He said
Like,
there's people coming. We have to get out of
Listen,
here
we
before
don't-
more arrive. Right now, we can outnumber him. That's about to change. Sires are coming. I don't want to know what a sire is. I'm going to go over to the wall, and I'm going to... is there any other electrical appliance besides the TV?
In the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a kitchen. There's a small kitchen off of there, and you can see various appliances in there that are plugged into the wall. You assume they might be working.
Stove has never been turned on.
Okay.
Any
Lives on
utensils you think
Doritos
are
and Casey's
fried?
pizza.
Pizza cutter?
I probably would have done this earlier, but I'm going to say I do it now. I check for my wallet and my cell phone, which I'm sure I don't have.
Your wallet is gone.
My cell phone?
Your cell phone is there.
Perfect. I'm going to make a phone call.
You pick it up. You go to swipe on it. It doesn't work. You can't get it to unlock.
Siri, call 911.
Oh, yeah, that's probably not going to work. There's a trick to it.
I need to.
Great.
Listen,
Cool.
you
I
all.
don't give you release at all for this. If I'm on a TV show, prank, or whatever, reality nonsense, I'm getting out. You guys are getting sued.
This is
Yeah.
If all of you help me,
I'm
we
out
can use
too.
this
Yeah.
fridge to battering ram the door.
Let's fucking do it, man.
Listen.
We unplug the fridge and empty it, and
I
throw it over
spent-
the side, and pick it up, and
I-
me and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. I'm second. While I do not shake his hand, I'm grabbing a fridge.
Yeah, Nate's in on this.
It's an old like 80s fridge, like one of the big ass heavy ones that you only see in garages now because they're no longer anyone's primary fridge. So you like they're like bubbled in the front, you know, they're not even flat. Like you see one of those in there, you grab hold of it and you start to pull it.
It's basically got a V8 engine in it for a compressor.
Basically, yes.
It weighs 1,700 pounds.
It rattles. You hear cans on the inside rattling around. Hey, don't mess with that. Look, you don't want to go out there. You can't go out for at least an hour.
Nathan, nice to meet you. I'm sure this is really fucked up and nothing
Don't-
personal, but I don't
don't.
really care if I ever see you again. Let's
You-
get the fuck out of here, yeah?
You have to trust me on this. You can't
I don't trust you at all.
out there. Yet.
So
Serial
I'm going
killer,
to-
motherfucker.
Listen, you second. I saw you gack someone back there. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what this guy gave me, but it's on him, man.
Yeah,
That
come here. I bring him back to the body that I saw him nosh on.
No.
This
I've
was
been
you.
drugged. Can you sense that? Everything in here is fucked up. I'm smelling things. I'm seeing weird shit. And I'm not just saying. Okay, I don't know how to explain. I can understand. Can you hear that right now? Can you hear the? I can hear the heating element, electrical current right now. That's coming through. You hear this like a buzz, and it was really loud next to the toe. Look, they did something to us, and I want to get the fuck out of here. And are we gonna batter down this door or not?
Let's fucking do it, man.
Okay.
I don't know, man. All I know is I am 99% sure you killed that guy. Because the one who was above where I was, I go back and check for a pulse.
For which one? The one above
The one that
Levi's?
was above me. The one that was above me.
He's still alive. Because you didn't drink.
Yeah, this guy's alive. I didn't touch this guy. I go over to Levi's, or seconds, I should say.
Int medicine.
All right.
Difficulty
Ant
7
medicine.
for you.
Ant medicine.
Intelligence plus
For
medicine.
medical.
Yeah, we're kind of assembling. We're
We're assembling.
I got a watch, so that guy must be alive, or
He's
you know,
dead.
whatever.
Clearly dead. He's dead.
We're
If there was
making bad-
if there
Oh
was
my
a
God.
pulse, you didn't find it. So, clearly dead.
Holy, oh my God, this guy, yeah, this guy's totally dead, you know, and I just kind of slapped the back of the body.
yeah. So we should trust the guy hanging bodies up from the rafters. Yeah, fuck that.
I didn't hang
Look,
up. And if
I
I did
can't-
kick him, fine. You can turn me into the police.
Listen,
Get through
hatchlings,
the door. Help me get through the
listen
door.
to me. I couldn't have you turn on each other, so I had to provide you at my
Oh
own
my
expense.
I would like to help lift
your
up
first
this
meal.
fridge with
You-
Nathan and bash down the goddamn door.
Okay, so both of you make strength athletics checks to
Got
lift
it.
this fridge.
So I'll
use it as
roll
a
my
battering
one die. I got
Combined.
it down.
Okay, I'll say combined. You
Oh,
need 3
man.
successes. You need 3 successes combined between the two of you.
Well, that's good because I got 3 successes plus 1 from Potence.
Okay, so you could actually have done this on your own, but second does actually apply some aid in this endeavor to help steady. You guys hit the door, it splinters, it busts open, and the first thing you
sunlight.
see is
Can't wait.
sunlight.
Is sunlight
So
that door?
both of you will take a few rays of sunlight That is 1 aggravated damage.
Yeah!
You immediately, as the door splinters, a few rays of sunlight shines in, your arms begin to boil. Boil as though you have been in the sun for hours instantly. You find yourself repelled backwards back into the room next to him. To
Stop,
get away
drop,
from
and
the
roll.
sunlight. You,
Drop and roll.
oh, now look what you did.
That's a weird photo photo allergy.
Listen.
I don't know what you call it. What
Listen,
the proper term is. Oh,
it's an hour until sunset. I can't take you out till then, but hatchlings always rise a bit early. So I had me come here as an early riser to sit with you, to talk to you, and to make sure you're well fed so you didn't run out into broad daylight and burn up in flames instantly. My name is Grub. They call me that because I have one of the largest herds in the domain, and I've supplied that to you at a cost of no boons, in return for the prince granting me permission to take on a childer. That's you, Omar. I'm your sire. So come sit on the couch and watch the rest of the show. Plug the TV back in, please.
So my wanting to
I'll plug the TV back in.
Plug
You
the
know,
TV
it's
back
like
in.
I saw the both of them like sit there and like try and catch toast. It's like, it's like I can't eat garlic. This is telling me this is like with the research. This is sounding like this isn't sus. He's sounding legit here.
So my wanting to is that a supernatural wanting to listen to him or just
You aren't sure of the difference at this point.
That's true. Okay.
But for
I
player
just
purposes, you are in fact one step bloodbound to him.
Right.
As your
Okay.
sire. So waking up one step bloodbound, you feel compelled not to so much hang out with him, but you feel compelled to not leave his presence easily.
Got it. Okay.
What did you do to us, Beanbag?
Yeah, what did you do?
I didn't do anything to you or you or you, but him, and he points at Omar. He is my responsibility. See,
I really appreciate that you want to be my mentor, whatever it is. Fine. That's cool. But my mom and dad, totally cool people. I'm just going to stick with them. I mean, I appreciate it, man.
that's actually a horrible idea. You need to stick with me.
Again, appreciate your advice. Really do.
You've all been
I don't think
chosen.
that's for me.
You've all been chosen because you offer something that the domain needs. I can't tell you exactly what that is. Each sire is given permission to bring a new one into the fold, very rarely in this domain. Only once another kindred has screwed up to the point that the prince declares them destroyed, that room is made for new hatchlings. So in these situations, sires will form a coterie, an expansion coterie as we call it, and they will come out here to the hatchery, where we then have to go through a series of understanding exercises, if you will, before you're turned loose into the domain general. And I promise this will all make far less sense in a moment. But then it will make complete sense, because people who are better at explaining this than me will come and will explain this to you. My job is just to supply you a place where you may safely rise your first night, and to make sure you had a snack prepared so you did not devour each other whole.
So
I admit I'm hungry and I haven't eaten anything, but I am really, really hungry. But that's not food in there. Those are people. People in a corpse.
You see he puts his oversized tree trunk-like arms on the couch, and the couch flexes as much as it can to bear the weight of the amount of potence he has to use just to stand himself up. And once he stands up, he's a ginormous person in every aspect. He's easily 6'2", 6'3", and every bit of 800 pounds. As pieces of chip, a hot dog falls off of his chest and onto the floor as he starts to meander forward slightly. And as he walks through, you can see he's oversized, stained sweatpants on, and he starts walking through. Oh, come this way. He starts walking towards the room that you just came out of. I specially prepped your snacks with a calming agent to make sure you would be docile so that it's easier to take this information in. And he squeezes sideways through the door frame. And you hear the door frame, the wood of the door creaks as he goes through. And he reaches up and grabs one of the chains, and you hear it snap as and the body hit the floor when he drags it into the living room.
Nathan, right?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
He drugged us with something that made us hurt in the sun.
No.
Man.
I didn't drug you with anything except something to make you calmer.
You work for them. I would like to believe that you know what you're doing, but even if you don't know what you're doing it because they want you to.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, man?
Don't worry about it. There's nothing we can do about it here. If we have 3 more coming, then that's what it is.
So, see, this...
So, I peek into the room. Again, appreciate it. Really do. I don't think that's for me, man. I'm good here. I'm good.
There's no going back. I mean, it's not really your decision anymore.
Oh,
it's
all... I'm good, thank you.
The moment you walk out there and you bust into flames, the countless people heading home from work, if even one of them pulls out that device that you have in your hand and records you, the prince will have an entire extermination squad down here to kill the rest of your friends. So,
yes, bravo. Yes.
And then your
there's
parents.
also
And then,
the prince of an extermination squad.
Wait a second. Prince,
Yes.
domain,
Yes.
kindred.
If you would all
That's a lot of words I've seen in books, but
if you would all quit trying to escape to your deaths, I will explain this to you all as best I can.
Messed up nightmare, man.
I don't know what that calming agent you put in put in those, I use air quotes, snacks.
It's just fentanyl.
Jesus, what?
You doped us with fentanyl.
Well, some things are easier to take.
Be right back.
I'm not allergic to that.
Yeah, it's just saying. But listen, I'm okay. Let me start simpler. When you've done this for a while, you forget how much people don't know. So we're vampires now.
I check
I want you to
my
say with
mouth.
me. Your fangs are still distended from when you fed. You never even realized they were out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're real. They're not implants. Some people get implants. They're weird. Yours are the real deal. Now listen, I'll show you. Relax your jaw, and they'll go back up in.
Don't fucking touch me, okay?
I'm not touching you. I'm telling you. Just relax, and they'll go back up into your mouth like they're supposed to be normally. You only bring them out when you're feeding.
I attempt that. Do they slide up?
Yeah. The opiates actually help you with this. You do, and you feel them slide back up into your mouth. There you go. Now have a seat on the couch. Just have a seat on the couch so no one else gets hurt.
I touch my skin.
You can feel the burn on your arm.
where the burn isn't,
Yeah.
am I cold?
Mm-hmm.
And then do I feel a heartbeat?
None. Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. I mean, this is a good first lesson. Is that you now require blood to sustain yourselves.
Yeah, hold on. Do you have some that's unleaded from? I point at the stuff because I'd rather have a clear head and hear this than be muddled.
Once you burn off the contaminated blood, once you've utilized it a bit, metabolized, it'll wear off, and once you've accepted the truth, I will take you out, and you can all get yourselves some less contaminated food. I'll have to take you somewhere besides here, but I can get here on my my Grubhub, and I'll order you up some, and they'll have it. They'll be here in no time. But right now, before I take you to your new home, where your sires will meet with you to conduct the rest of your training. Before we can leave, we have to let the sun finish setting safely, which by now is about 45 minutes. Then we'll be able to safely move out and go, but I need you to all not run, or else the prince, who's just the local head of all the vampires, he goes by the title Prince, and I don't care who you thought was running shit yesterday, but that's who runs shit now. You just gotta trust me, or we're all dead. And I've worked very hard for this opportunity.
Fucking vampires, man.
Yes.
Damn San Fernando Valley.
I'm sure you got a lot of questions. And, I will gladly answer them. So...
Alright, so sunlight seems to be a no-no for us. What about mirrors? You know, I start listing off the vampire tropes.
Well, there's
How do I make myself sparkle?
There's a lot of variation. There's a lot of variation. A lot of the stuff you've seen on movies, TVs is mostly bullshit. But there's a few things that still run true. One, we do have to feed on blood. You could slaughter a zoo worth of animals, and it'll barely do you any good compared to one regular meal like this guy here. So, if you're bold enough...
Do we have to kill them?
No, but new hatchlings typically wake up pretty hungry. So often, we have to supply an entire person. And so I, at the expense of my own personal feeding, supplied people to ensure that you did not turn on each other.
Where'd you get the people?
Oh, I own them.
You own them?
Uh-huh, yeah, they're mine.
That's real weird, man. I don't think you can
Oh,
do
that's not so weird. That's not the weird part.
Yep, it
oh,
is.
No,
Yeah,
nope.
it is.
That is not the weird part. Nope.
Yep, it's weird. Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, we're known as us vampire don't call each other that much. We call each other kindred.
That sounds stupid.
Well, we're
That sounds rather incestuous.
It just makes you realize that at this point we're all family. So think of us as cousins.
We are not fucking family.
So like me and Omar are like father and son now, and you're like his cousins.
You know, I really appreciate the attention. I do. Not sure I'm into it. Do appreciate, though.
Oh my,
Wait,
your
what,
dad is fucked
hold
up.
on. What about like AIDS and Ebola and like other bloodborne
You
pathogens and?
you ain't gotta worry about most of that anymore. Yeah, except just if you drink it in, kind of like the fentanyl, then it's inside of you. So then, if you were to feed your blood to something else, then it could potentially catch it from you. But you yourself don't have to worry about that because those things only affect things that are alive, and you're now dead. On a biological sense, this is way harder than I thought it would be.
Is there a mirror around somewhere?
Yeah, you can find a mirror in the kitchen or the bathroom.
All right, so I'll breathe onto the mirror.
Okay. You breathe onto it. Nothing.
No fog.
Nope.
Is this like a medicine cabinet mirror, or is this like one that's hanging
like
on the wall?
Yeah.
Do I see him do that?
You see him do it.
Is this mirror of any, like...
I make eye
sizable
contact
at
with
all?
Tom, and I just put my hand over where my heart is.
What's stranger is when you look into the mirror, you see yourself,
God.
but you're kind of blurry. Your reflection doesn't look quite right.
What? Wait, is that second or me or?
It's all of us, right?
Yeah. Is it like a big mirror where I could just, like... I probably wouldn't just go look in the mirror, but, like, if it was, like, a mirror on the wall that was big enough that I could just glance over, is it
Yeah,
something
you
like
can.
that where I
You
can
can
see
glance
myself?
over and you see a rough image of yourself.
I'm a vampire.
I gotta get
All
back
right,
to sleep.
here's a good test. This one he brought out has to be alive, right? So we're gonna bring this over here. I put him up so that way his mouth and nose are on that mirror.
Yes. It fogs.
Great. Holy shitballs.
Okay, so listen. So as I said, there is a kindred who's known as the Prince.
Okay, uh-huh.
It's Prince Sebastian. He rules over this area. He refers to it as domain. There's some rules that you have to understand, that you have to operate by in order to not be killed by the prince. And I need your rest of your sires will be along to help explain them slowly. In the meantime, I will be utilizing my herd of people to keep you I don't want to use the word alive, because that would imply that you could go back to being normal, but to keep you full,
Undead.
so you're not hungry. Because if you get hungry, you'll just try to feed off of anything that you can. That could be me, each
Hey,
other.
Glub, you said we were selected. Do you mind explaining what that is? I really got lost on this whole situation. I just
Okay.
want to say
So,
I appreciate it. So thank you. I'm sorry. Really sorry to bother you about
so
this.
Prince Sebastian, he's a rather controversial figure.
Ooh. All right.
See, he established himself as the prince of this domain, and in doing
He's a
so,
big king guy.
yeah,
Okay.
and in doing so, he established a certain. He uses the word equilibrium between kindred
Oh,
and
it's a good movie, Christian Bale.
and the mortals.
Uh-huh.
It is a good movie.
That's an old movie.
That gun fu is some amazing stuff.
The Mortals. The Mortals.
like
So
these
they're
guys
weak.
here.
They're
So
that we call them immortal. Okay, then. All right.
they're mortals. You call them sheep, the flock.
We
There's a
call
lot
them that
of-
too. Okay.
Some just call them blood bags, but those usually are.
So a lot of respect is what you're saying.
Well, there's
getting
kindred
weird,
are just as
Keeps getting
diverse and just as depraved as the humans that we come from.
Sure, just a lovely bunch of serial killers out here, right?
Celebrating free speech, lots of labels. Let's not judge anybody's language. Sure, got it.
We've mostly ruled over society since the time of Rome, maybe even earlier. So it's kind of this is just
That
kind of what
explains a
we've
lot.
done. Most
Okay,
things.
Grub, I'm
so
sorry.
fucked up.
Sorry, Grub, you're going really way back. I'm so sorry. I wasn't.
Listen,
I misspoke. I'm misstepping here. Let me clarify. Sorry. Okay. So what I guess I'm trying to say is, why are specifically the four of us just going about town, and then we said, why are we here?
Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry. I
yeah,
know.
okay,
I know.
Sorry.
No, you're really excited. You're doing a really great job of explaining the whole thing.
I'm not the historian.
Oh no, it's okay. I don't really need the history.
When the historian gets here, that'd be Thomas's sire, Chandra. When she gets here, she'll be able to explain the historical part of
Hold on, we
Kindred.
need history? Like, how many days has it been? What day is it?
I don't know.
October? Nathan's got a great question. Great questions coming from Nathan there. That's a strong move.
It's spring.
It's the day of spring.
Hey,
Well, I mean, it's
spring.
yeah. It's listen. Those are details.
Yep.
That,
What's the year, man?
that would be 2021. Yes, 2021.
So we don't need a fucking historian, man. Just tell us what the fuck's going on.
Well, I'm trying to get to that, but there's a lot that has to be covered.
Well, all we're really interested. Well, I shouldn't be speaking for the group, guys. Real sorry, shouldn't be speaking for the group. Just want you to.
That's okay. So far, the two didn't listen at all. Seems to be people are cattle now to us.
Right.
We have to be really careful about sunlight.
Okay. Thomas, right? I think they said your name was
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Have you ever known a farmer?
I can respect that.
No, answer. Have you ever known a farmer?
Is maybe that why Thomas was selected, because of his connection with the agricultural community?
Sure. But if you've ever known a farmer who raises cattle, even if those cattle are someday sent to slaughter, because at the end of the day, that's what they're grown for. Most of them farmers still put a lot of time and love and caring into raising those animals. Like they're their own.
I get
So
it.
you're like you're into
get it.
free range humans versus like pen fed and like veal treated humans.
I like to think of most of us kindred are very much we're very much kind of like sport hunters.
Oh,
Like
so hunting
like,
cows,
Hunting
sports.
cows. Yeah, that sounds like what
Great.
happens.
well, there's like those who would go out and they like shoot deer, right? Or caribou, or
Right.
I don't know, squirrels.
Sure.
And they take that meat and they bring it home for their family.
Yeah, they
right?
bring it home for the family and
They'll
everybody
butcher
gets
it
to eat it.
all up and they'll
Yeah.
put it in deep freezers. And then they
Okay.
still go to the local Target or Meijer and buy everything else they need, and they act
Yeah.
like they're self-sufficient.
I know, it's crazy.
We have a certain number of free-range humans, yes, and then there's a certain number that are not so free-range that we keep for ourselves, and that's called a herd.
They're not free range. They're in a herd. There's a fence.
And it's not like the cows in a fence that you see out on pasture. It's more like the invisible electric fence with the dogs with the collars.
Yeah, don't go near that. You get the little.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So wait, how have you guys not been found out? I mean,
that's what I was trying to get to. That's where I was going a minute ago.
We're going there. Okay.
The first rule of being in our society in this domain under Prince Sebastian.
You say don't tell about Fight Club. I'm gonna be so pissed off.
It is don't talk about Fight Club, right?
We don't talk about it. You can't let the food know you're there. Now, this is not abnormal. Most things that hunt don't let the prey know they're there. The hunter doesn't announce himself to the deer before he shoots. The lion doesn't announce himself to the gazelle before he chases it. You're best if the food doesn't know you're there.
Solid analogies. Grub, when does everybody else show up? When are they coming? When are they joining the meet and greet here?
Oh, they're not coming here. They don't come to the hatchery. I take you from the hatchery to your haven, where they will be there waiting.
Third location.
Third location, man.
We're going to a third location.
Oh, third location. This is your first location.
I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Yeah, second locations are way better, right? Yeah.
I'm confused about second location. This is you literally walked out of the bathroom into the living room.
I misspoke, Grub. You were talking about hunting and lions and farming and fences, electric fences.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
You're not getting caught because you guys are keeping it on the down low, as opposed to like going out and just lording it over the lesser life forms or unlife forms.
So, and this is where Chandra
We're incredibly chill about this, man.
Chandra will be better to explain this, but so a long time ago, Kindred did exactly what you propose. They got all Bram Stoker and decided to just try to be themselves, and it didn't turn out so well. So everyone kind of went dark and more behind the scenes and just sort of corral and control the humans without them knowing it. It seemed to work a lot better than going full Stoker and just, being what you are.
It's not necessarily that I'm really chill with this. It's a matter of, let's look at our position here. If we go outside at this point, we're dead.
You'll burn.
Right.
And then if someone sees you burn, you'll break the Masquerade, which again is the first rule, is Masquerade. Don't let them know what you are. Sometimes that means lying. Sometimes that means having to kill one of them. We prefer you don't do that. That gets messy. But sometimes it's necessary. Most of the time, you can interact with them.
Sure.
And you don't have a problem.
So you guys are just trying to survive and just trying to get by and just trying to make it as not messy as possible. Sometimes it's going to get messy. I mean,
sometimes it does.
You're going to need a custodian. You're going to need to get in there, get it all cleaned up. I mean, that's why they're there. Messes get made.
That's right.
Can't make an omelet.
That's right. And so what you got to realize is
it right or is it left? Right?
Right.
Okay.
You're catching on. Yeah.
I'm catching what you're pitching.
Yeah. So you can interact with
Tell
them.
them what you're stepping in.
Just you can't let them know that we exist, or the prince
won't. I can't.
Will just declare that you can be destroyed.
Great.
And then your spots will become vacant, and he will choose other kindred to then be able to grow their clan instead of your sire, who would be devastated to find out that he has lost his opportunity. So, you see...
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, there's the prince... Okay, so, a long time ago, we used to have bigger problems where these sorts of things were done independently. Where when the prince, and some other domains still run this way, but like a prince will just tell you, be like, hey, I'm giving you the right of progeny. You can go create yourself a useful child to add some qualities to our domain and strengthen it, right? And they would just do this.
So Grub, real quick, sorry, I'm trying to keep up with you. You're laying down a lot. I just want to say you're laying down in a very concise fashion. It's bite size, great connectivity, lots of good analogies. So you own a bunch of people. So when we get picked for our time slot, does that mean that the person getting picked is also now owned? Is that a lot of ownership? Is there people owning? Are we owned?
I think maybe it sounds more like it refers to as like Omar as this child, essentially, right? So maybe it's more like a familial adoption thing, adult adoption type.
Okay, so if Omar's your kid, is he legally 18 right now?
No.
According to no, he's not.
Not until you have passed the process known as the accounting.
And so after we see the account,
which is what we're doing here. Okay. This is what we're doing. You're
the accountant.
This is starting it. It's up to me and your sires, the rest of you, to ensure that you are all properly taught before we release you into the domain proper.
So we do school with the accountant, and then some sires are going to come by, and they're going to go, good job, good job.
Don't think of it as school, just as training exercises.
They're not training exercises. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Training exercises. I like that. I like that. I like to train.
This is less lecture hall and more...
more hands-on.
More driver's ed. More driver's ed.
You got to get in there. You got to drive the car. You're not going to know how to drive
the car. Right.
You got to drive the car.
Right. And your sire just has their foot on that brake.
Okay.
You know.
So when are the?
And then eventually they'll give you a permit.
Breaking on in here.
You know, when we get to your haven, which is where you'll be staying, until such a time as you're released to the domain, in order to obtain your own haven, upon which you will be mostly at that point released on your own. But we have to make
periodically glances down the hall to see if you can still see sunlight out there or not.
Yeah, me too.
You're still dealing with another 20 so minutes of sun. It's less. You're feeling like as it gets closer to dusk, you feel as though you'd be. It's getting closer to where you think you could just go.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, the moment that a mortal gets a whiff that we're here and that we're real, and they start to spread that amongst their own, then
that'd be bad.
All the other kindred who don't want to be burned at a stake will come and wipe you off the board. And that'd be the end of it. So So until we get you established and clear you of the accounting, you have to kind of abide by us while we go through these exercises. And when we're done, we'll be able to help you gain some standing and a little clout in the domain. And then you'll be seen as a peer and less as a pawn.
All right.
Or you can do like
Right.
you used to, where one of us, given permission, I would just have taken Omar under my wing personally and done it all myself. But the
Is there a
problem was
computer in here?
it created a lot of tribalism. And then there was a lot of fighting between tribes. And so to eradicate that tribalism, the prince has decided that all expansions to maintain that equilibrium would be done cohesively via a coterie, as he calls them, expansion coteries, assembled and put together by the prince himself to see that the tribalism doesn't set back in. So instead of just me as a Nosferatu working with the other Nosferatu to bring Omar here in to teach him how to be the most Nosferatu he can be. See, that's just segregation, right?
That's where we draw the line, right? So,
Right.
slaves are cool, human
we don't-
cattle's fine.
Right, but we don't want to keep ourselves separate because that'd be leading to fighting, and we don't want that fighting. Nope.
Well,
Nope, we're good.
but well, hold on though. But see, it ain't just like that. Like, because now,
Of course not.
Because I mean, we're not just keeping all the humans segregated either.
No,
I mean-
no, got to mix them up. Got to get them.
Right.
Got to get them all together so they don't fight.
Now, see, if it was up to just my clan, the Nosferatu, with myself and Omar, we might go out and we would all just go out and collect all the humans that were the easiest for us to feed off of, to manipulate and control, and that'd be all we ever had.
Huh. Yeah.
And things would stay segregated then, not only amongst us, but amongst them. And then when we get together at our parties, and when we get together at our meeting places with the other clans, for instance, Thomas here is of Clan Tremere, and Nathan is Clan Bruja.
Sure.
Yeah.
Second, you are Malkavian.
Uh-huh.
None of that means
Yeah.
anything to you yet.
Right.
Harry Potter sword
Nothing.
hats or something.
Effectively.
I'm a Macravian. Yep.
So
Um,
now each sire will spend a little time explaining to you the potency of the gift of vampirism that's been given to you. We do have things that separate us, but most things bind us together and make us all cousins. And those are the things we focus on first. Like our need for blood, our hatred of sunlight, because it'll destroy us.
Yeah.
So you use that word potency, and that makes me think some type of power, because, I'm just looking at kind of the root of the word there, and
Okay, so when you were all bitten by your sire, and all of your...
Wait, you bit me?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say you could bite me. That's weird, man.
Look, if it was up to the childer to decide to be bitten by the sire, there would be no more kindred. Nobody signs on for that.
That
shit.
was weird.
I told you it was going to get weirder before it got less weird.
You're lucky you're
You
still
were
here.
correct.
Look at this guy.
So,
So the adoption process is not quite an informed consent kind of thing. It's just more like
have you ever
this-
have you ever adopted a dog?
yes.
Did you go to a kennel and did you walk through there until some
Okay,
dog
okay.
said,
So-
"I'll go home with that guy"?
So Omar's a good-looking puppy, and you're like, him.
He's not a good-looking puppy.
No.
No, he.
He's the one that's so ugly he's cute.
But he's not.
He's like the English bulldog who just has a snaggled tooth, can't breathe, but god damn it, he's adorable.
But most of you have, as in your normal lives, have acquired sets of skills that that your sire believes could be put to use to strengthen the domain.
So just out of curiosity, you don't mind I know it's getting a little bit personal. We're talking about dads and kids here. Omar was picked because he's got a skill.
Yeah. That's right.
Why was Omar picked?
Which one? I've got a few.
Well, okay, so this might come as a bit of a surprise to you.
This is all a surprise to me.
But
Prevention of anachronism, I'm guessing, because, I'm assuming if they've been around since the Roman Empire, possibly they may not be swift on picking up the new ways, so to speak. So I would assume this is done in some type of way to sit there and prevent dying off from lack of adaptability.
he raises his big paw over towards him. Look at that. Look at that. Them Tremere, I tell you. You leave it to a Tremere. They always pick it up quicker than the rest. Chandra was right about you. She said, you watch. She said, you watch. My child will be the first to get it. He'll be the first to understand. And look. She was right. Goddamn, I owe her a boon. Goddamn, she was right.
Okay,
I told her,
boomer.
I thought for sure it would be the Malkavian. I put a boon on the Malkavian, and I was wrong. I should have known it'd be the Tremere, but I just could not agree
let
with
you
her.
down, Grub, and I don't know what to say.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I do not mind losing a boon. It's so trivial. It's nothing big. But it was a...
So you didn't pick me, is what you're saying.
I did pick you.
You did. Well,
He's saying Grandpa needs some kid to help him with his Facebook. That's what he's saying.
with the book face.
That's the long and the short. Basically, yeah, some of the I'm guessing the older ones won't be able to go in as easy. They're going to have archaic ideas. Some might not even grasp the concept of a firearm if they're old enough.
Hold on. Old ideas, like slavery and ownership of humans and that kind of thing.
Oh, no, they understand that part.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What they don't understand, and he points down towards the phone that Omar's carrying.
I hope it's one
They-
of the fucking dial phones.
The rotary phones, yeah.
They, a lot of them
I don't know what that is.
A lot of them have trouble understanding that stuff. You see, when I was brought into kindred society, it was this dark age known as the 90s. And
I've heard about that.
it was different then. The clans were mostly at each other's throats. There was a lot of talk about the blood getting too thin. There's a lot of talk about the end times. And
So if we
mortgage
do
rates
like
were fantastic for those in the Haven business. But
So if we do like a phone walkthrough,
we're getting to that
or like
part.
a workshop.
We're getting to that. So what the prince would like to do is he would like to modernize our society in order to maintain control over the people, because as time has gone along, many of our kind have experienced rapidly increasing struggles understanding modern man in ways that even
so
one
complicated.
such as myself, who was only brought in a blink of an eye, I sometimes have the same struggle to understand
Huh.
you guys, that my sire, who was brought in during the Revolution, had understanding me. Like that gap that took 200 years. The level of disconnect is roughly the same as me to you now, because ever since they invented these kinds of things, suddenly everything that mortals do is now on them. Some of them don't even leave their homes.
Hey, Nathan, can I see your phone for a sec?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, I take the drug guy's finger and I swipe over the phone to get the check-in pad to come up.
Okay, it comes up.
Yeah, that's our problem. These are all heat sensitive. We have no body heat.
Let me see that thing. And I'm gonna
I
see
hand it
Blush
to
of Health actually.
Your Blush of Health allows you to do it, so you can do it on your own without.
What are you talking about?
So, here was the real. Here was the real. And again, Chandra, when she gets here, or when we get there to meet Chandra, she'll make some parts of this more clear. But you see, in your normal state, you can't utilize those kinds of technology. But if you focus on the power of the blood that's within you, you can force your hand to retain its heat signature. Your heart will briefly beat. You won't sweat or cry, but you can roughly look not as pale as you do now, and things like that will work. But that is it takes an incredible amount of energy, and we become incredibly hungry quickly if we do this too often. So, what the prince would like us to do is to work on making kindred society better reflect and integrate into the rapidly advancing mortal society, so we can maintain our control in ways that other domains are losing control over their mortal flocks. Maybe you have seen the news. The mortals in the streets, they're burning down entire buildings. They're protesting. Yeah. They're razing things to the ground. Some of those were people. Some of those were kindred havens.
Finally getting something done by the sounds of things. Make people
notice I saw you messing around with your phone there. Try rubbing your finger on your pants there, back and forth really quick for a bit until your finger feels kind of warm.
Okay. Yep. Oh. Yep. Hey.
So by rubbing your finger on your pants till it's warm, you can get it swiped open. But by the time you find the contact, the quick call you want, it's too cold. You got to keep doing it, and eventually you can.
This is not ideal.
So again,
I feel like we could fix that.
So we're working on the prince has put together a special coterie, which is kind of like a committee, where he gets the right minds from the different clans together for a task. He puts together what he calls a coterie to handle a specific task that the domain needs. And then when the coterie has finished the task, they dissolve and they go back to their families, their clans, where they work on maintaining their prominence within the domain. And then whenever a member of that clan fucks up and the prince has them destroyed for fucking up, then when spots become available, the prince then may look at any of the clans and decide who gets to bring another one into their clan, thus shifting the balance of power in the domain. So, again, this is a huge opportunity for the 4 clans represented here, and we can't fuck this up, or he might turn around and let the gangrel make another goddamn mutt. So, unless you want mutt gangrel with their beady fucking red eyes and their horrid claws coming to hunt you down, don't fuck this up. Because once you make a gangrel, you can't fucking kill them.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds...
Oh, what do they do? Like, sink into the ground or something? Or something weird?
Yes. And if you let one live long enough, every time you go to do anything about it, they'll turn into mist. Just shrink away, and then they're gone. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Next thing you know, they're a bat flying or a wolf running.
Huh.
Nasty fucking critters. I hate them.
You guys ever read Bram Stoker? Because, you know, this is out the playbook a little bit there.
Bram Stoker? Is that what you said?
Yep. You know, that's the Dodenshi, type of version right there. By Bram Stoker.
Okay. So I think we've all come to a bit of an understanding here.
Yeah, I think so. We're in a better place than when we started, for sure.
Now, before we go, the sun is setting. So before Chandra pulls up in the vehicle that's going to take us to your new home, temporary home, until you're ready to get a home of your own. I've only got one question I got to ask you. Are any of you going to eat this? He points at the body that he's got dangling from the chain. If you're
like
not,
I said, you know, fentanyl is. I'm a little leery about, you know, taking in something where I wouldn't be at my peak mental condition, you know. Just if I didn't have my brains right now, you know, you would have won your boon probably.
Y'all don't mind then if I eat in front of you, because I'm hungry. I have been. It takes an incredible amount of my strength just to stand here, and before I sit back down and finish season 3 of Ozark, I'm going to have to eat first, and I don't like to be impolite in front of guests, but you've all forced me to have to do this. So
Nathan's going to turn his back to it.
I'm gonna sneak into the kitchen and turn the gas on in the oven.
Okay.
Omar can't look away.
I'm gonna watch with intellectual detachment because, you know, this is now the new normal. I need to adapt, otherwise, you know, it's apparently die.
Pretty soon, you hear a rap upon the door, and you see, as you turn your backs, you're kind of looking out towards the front door, and you can hear the gnashing of large, nasty, crooked fangs as they sink into the neck of this individual that's been drug in, and the slurping, gulping sound like somebody slurping down the last of a really nasty gas station Frosty.
I hold back whatever's going to come up, knowing what's probably going to come up.
And he gets done. And when he's done, you see he runs his tongue up along there, and you see the bite wounds vanish.
And the other person is watching him saying, this is why you gotta watch. Otherwise you don't learn. And if you don't learn in the society, you die.
Yeah.
I think...
Is it still daylight outside?
No.
Cool. I'm gonna take like a random wrapper surreptitiously and shove it in the toaster and turn the toaster on.
Okay. You find a...
I'd like to do all that stealthily if possible.
Okay. Make a wit stealth. None of this is technical. It's just being quick-witty and not being seen.
I got 3 successes. No, I got 4 successes.
That is enough. You beat him. So, anyone who wants to see him do that will need at least 4 successes on any kind of awareness style check.
Oh. Nathan will roll it just because he has been kind of whispering back and forth here throughout the session with him, so hopefully catch on to what's going
Grub,
on.
do we just wait outside?
Oh, that knock on the door would be Chandra.
Great.
He yells up, he's like, you can come on in. You see the door open, and standing there is the most unassuming looking, petite, 5'1" maybe, red-haired, braided, otherwise looking almost schoolgirl-looking like figure with small circular glasses and a long kind of almost pointy nose. And she kind of steps through the door. Hello. My name is
Chandra, I presume.
of House Tremere. If you wouldn't mind
Hey,
stepping out here with me, I'll be taking you to your new home.
great.
Mhm.
Great.
Oh,
And
right.
that is where we will wrap for the night.
Oh,
Nice.
we're vampers.
Vampers!
Vampers?
I didn't get to blow up the apartment.
Not yet.
Well,
Gotta wait till I'm out of it, man.
We're gonna blow up my sire game 1.
You know, every PC's backstory includes murdering his sire and diablerizing him, right? So,
I want
that's just a thing.
I want like the first 4 episodes of this game just be the systematic destruction of everyone's sires before you.
You can't be a hero if your parents are alive. That's a thing in gaming. You know,
This is the dark origin story where you can't. Why did you call it?
It's vampire, every origin story in Vampires.
Why did you say that name? Why did you call her Martha?
I didn't bother. Honestly, I didn't bother wanting to check because I already know with Auspex 1, you're going to be able to smell the gas before it
Oh,
gets
yeah.
to a point where you need to worry about it. So it's like.
What I was waiting for, and I didn't hear him say it, so I'm gonna roll a random d10 to randomly determine this. Was if
we're the lowest here, Laser.
was if he turned the dial up to dark brown. Essentially, the timer of the bomb is how brown the toast has to get before it pops. I didn't hear him say, so on a 1 to 10, I'm going to see exactly how much time you got to get out of here before this thing goes up. Okay, so that's a random number I have now that I'm not telling you guys till next game. So
Nice.
that's where we're going to start at the beginning of next game is in true Malkavian fashion. We'll find out when the house explodes.
Don't stereotype me. I'm a kidnap victim. I need to get the fuck out of here.
So,
Start kicking taillights.
thank you everybody for being here tonight for episode 1 of iKindred. This is famed Sanguis, which translates roughly from Roman into, or from Latin into blood hunger. So we this is Tabletop Keyboard. We are back every other Wednesday with this game. The opposite Wednesdays, which will start next Wednesday also, is then our All Flesh Must Be Eaten game, Don't Sleep. Both of those are 10 p.m. to midnight Central Time. So if you're here, that's when you'll find either this game now or All Flesh Must Be Eaten. They will rotate every other week. I will be including ways for chat to get more involved with this one, but due to the nature of the story that I'm telling with this game, I needed a good first session without a whole bunch of chat involvement.
Yeah.
That's a
Supernatural Wednesday. That's kind of true.
We could go with the W though. We can go Weird Wednesday.
Well,
Yeah.
Weird Wednesdays.
So
World of Darkness Wednesday.
what I really want to do is for our Wednesday games, I want to follow suit with what Jeff and Levi have done with Wednesday nights, and that is allow it to be a game where chat can be heavily involved.
Yeah.
I just have to find a good way with this system to allow that to be true. I can't do zombies with sprinkles in the same way that we do on Don't Sleep, because this game does not handle that well.
No, it does not.
Yeah, so
You said for bits, Werewolf Moon Assault.
We're like, fuck you, man.
there's
You said that.
I had some time to figure this out, so I thought if I wanted to do a boss battle bar and let the chat purchase it up to a number of bits, I was like, how many bits would I need for a Werewolf Moon Assault? And then I was like, I was thinking of a number in my head, and then I watched how quickly we got the boss battle with Lampshade paid for, and I was like, I got to increase that number. So who knows?
If Psycho finds this game, it'll be the boss battle will happen immediately.
I made these guys very loose promises that I would not use any rules from the other World of Darkness games, only from Vampire. So I'd have to use the bullshit lupines in the back of the book.
Rage alone.
Yeah, rage is a lot.
I'd have to use the bullshit lupines in the back of the book, which I don't want to do. So, but we'll see. There might be ways for you guys to get more involved. There might be a night coming up soon where I start doing more GM and ST prep, where if you are around for that using channel points, I will allow you guys to help me create more cool systems like the retainer list that we made a few weeks back. I have some other systems that I want to put into play here also. As they experience it, though, more of those will pop up, and I might have you guys in chat help define what all that looks like. So you might see some of that coming up soon. Tomorrow, have we officially defuncted the Thursday looking for group, Jeff?
Yep, I think so. We're going to roll all of our community nights into the Monday night, and we'll just rotate different things in there. So, you know, we could keep doing board games, we could keep doing Jackbox, we could do hopefully Among Us sometimes. I figure we just like mix whatever community event it is on Mondays. And then just
so Mondays is officially going to be our community night where you people out there in our community can get involved with us, play games with us. Probably not a TTRPG necessarily, but video games, tabletop, board games, things of that nature. So just keep checking in here on how you can be involved in those and get into our Discord. I will punch the list to the Discord up there. Boom. Boom. Right there it is. So you can take that link, get in our Discord, and you'll keep up with everything we do around here. That'll help you keep track of that. Fridays, Clint is probably ready to fire up another print screen.
Probably.
He got started last week. He's back on top of it. So
awesome.
You can look forward to Friday. Probably tune in at some point. You'll probably see his new 3D printer going to work on his newest project. Saturday, not this Saturday. This is not an Everstorm Saturday.
Yeah, this is not an Everstorm Saturday. Next Saturday, we're back.
So it is. It has now managed to find its way onto the same weekends as Zweihander. So now we're back to back. So
it'll cycle back off.
It'll cycle off eventually, but mine are staying consistent on every other weekend. Grouch Couch just got here. Welcome, Grouch Couch.
Thanks for coming, guys.
We're closing
Classic
up.
outros.
We're doing our closings here. We were just talking about the rest of the shows that we're doing. So this is the first session of our Vampire the Masquerade game, iKindred. You just missed it, but you can come back, watch it on the VODs, and I'm sure Jeff will have it up on our YouTube channel before too long.
I will.
So
speaking of which,
yeah, get that link up there for the YouTube as well. We were just talking that this coming Saturday is not Everstorm; it is another week out. So our Saturday and our Sunday game, my Sunday game is Zweihander Vigilantes of Valandria. It'll be Chapter 4. Those will not be this weekend; they will be another weekend away. Monday again is Community Night. Tuesday, Levi is on at 7 for DM'd art, and he'll be arting things up. Maybe some art for this game. Maybe some art. I don't know. Now that he knows I'll use his art, maybe he'll make more for me. I don't know. Who knows what we'll make next? Who knows?
I don't know. At this point, I got nothing pressing, so I'll take requests. Like honestly, I'm just working on Inktober stuff, so I can jump around and. I might have Leela. I might not. We'll see.
And if you missed last DM'd art, he made a really cool emote for 6 Psycho.
Sure did.
Coming up soon, you'll get to see that 6 Psycho emote coming up there, because when you fund as many zombies as 6 Psycho has, eventually we'll make an emote for you. That's just how these things go. When you become basically assistant DM for a game where you're just Levi's almost as much a player as we are at that point. Like
I'm becoming more irrelevant by the bit.
He's slowly outsourcing his job on Wednesday nights. I think that was his goal from the beginning.
I had no idea. I really didn't know how wackadoo that would get.
On Tuesdays, our Talent Tuesdays, when Levi is done with DM to art, Cameron has Bardic Knowledge. It comes on at 9 p.m. Central Time immediately after that. Cameron took a week off, but are you back next week, and what will you be working on, Cam?
I am back next week. Not exactly certain what I'm working on. I have things that need to be worked on, but I don't know which. It's like I have a list of things that I need to do, but then if some sort of inspiration hits me, I just roll with it. So
yeah, that's where I'm at too.
I've been doing the Leela songs, which I've been so much goddamn fun. I can't even tell you. The newest one is turning out all right.
I love the newest one. The newest one's great.
It's
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I still need to finish those up, but I don't know. Maybe I'll finish them up on stream. I still need some other music stuff for RP stuff for our D&D game. So could be lots of things. But before we go around, I do want to throw one more thing in there for Friday. This Friday, Clint's I think going to print something, as he's saying. It sounds like he's going to be done by the evening, and I'm going to do a stream with Animal G.
What?
We're gonna play a game called Trailmakers, which is
Trailmakers.
Yes, it's kind of like super badass Legos that uses real physics.
Oh, that's
So
what
you
you're
get
talking
to
about.
build stuff. You can build cars, planes, boats, hovercrafts, and it's like super fun stuff.
Is that going to be an
anyway,
Animal G stream?
So what we're going to do to try to help Animal G out, because he is still fresh in the game, we're going to start on our channel. We're going to go for about an hour. Hopefully we get a little bit of group watching. Then we're going to raid over to his channel, and we're going to finish up the stream there for another hour or two. So,
That's awesome.
cool.
That's a
Nice.
fantastic idea. I like it. That's cool.
So,
Good stuff.
and again, because a lot of his streaming happens kind of in the afternoons anyway, so we're hoping it being more prime time, we'll be able to get people that aren't around at 2 in the afternoon or whatever. So we are going to do that this week. We might do it more often, but we're going to do it at least this week. So
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight too. That's been
yeah,
fun.
he has.
That's
He's playing
cool.
a lot of Dead by Daylight.
I see his posts go up when he's live, but I'm at work a lot of times, and now I'm on day
I
shift.
think a lot of people
I
are,
can't get on there as like I used to be able to sometimes during the day. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Okay,
Bob-
where could people get your music?
Yeah.
Oh, good call.
Mhm.
So, best place to do that is at Bandcamp. Love Bandcamp.
This one time, a bed camp.
This one time Bandcamp, you get all the TT2KB music. So,
You remember it now.
TT2KB music is there at Bandcamp. You can stream, you can download it for free. It is all DMCA free. So if you want to use it in your own streams, if you want to use it in your own YouTube videos, whatever, it is there. It is available. You can stream it off of like Spotify, Pandora, stuff like that too, which is totally fine. But definitely the way to go is through Bandcamp. Again, you can download it. You can use it as you want. The only thing we ask is say that you got the music from TT2KB or get it a link or whatever. But yeah,
I was about to ask, is an attribution type of license with it?
there is. I own the copyright, so there is nothing you have to worry about. I own
With
the copyright.
an attribution license, it's like where they give you credit either in the credits or like in description or something
I
along
don't.
that line.
Yeah, I don't have anything official in there yet. It's more of a hey, please. So I don't have anything officially in there yet, but I could look into it. But the whole idea was that it was like I want it to be free and for everybody. Like that's the idea on it. So it's out there. So
Yeah.
feel free to.
We're
use
just
it.
asking if you're going to use it. Just give Cam some credit for the time he put in making it. Not monetarily necessarily. Just at least give him
Just
credit
point him
for
back
it
to
somewhere.
TT2KB. That's all. That's all I ask. So, but yeah, it's there. You can stream it if you want. You can download it right there. That's it. But
Nice.
check it out, please. Thank you.
All right, Bofrin, do you have any parting words that you want to?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot with cons over the worldwide issue that's happened. So coming up at the near the tail end of March here, Thursday, March 25th through Sunday, March 28th, is Gary Con.
Nice.
Kind of a cool little convention. There are still plenty of game spots open for people.
So cool.
Badges are available. The lowest end badge is $20, but you're not paying per game with this. So it's a front-loaded
good.
badge to where you're not having to pay like $5 or $8 and getting nickeled and dimed on however many games you can get in. So get in. It's one of those get as many games as you can because I don't know that you're going to find a better price on that out there, especially for a 4-day con, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it's safe to say, and I know Jeff feels this probably more than any of us with his dad's line of work, we want conventions to be a thing again. And the
Yeah,
only way they get to continue being a thing when this is all over is if you support them during this time when they can't do it the normal way. So
absolutely.
whether it's the artists who go there, like Jeff's dad, and again, you can drop that link in there, Jeff, for your dad's artwork. Dave Pancake is kind of one of our sponsors around here, and he's done so much work for us.
He's the patron of the stream.
Yeah. So
he's been making new stuff lately.
He always goes to GaryCon when he can, and of course this year, because of the way things are going on, those kinds of people will not necessarily be able to be there and put their stuff on display and earn their living in the same way. But if you can get a badge there, as Boffrin has linked, go there, get a badge, take part in GaryCon virtually, help support these cons so that maybe a year from now, GaryCon can be an actual full realized convention again. Hopefully, we'll see other cons that are able to be later this year, fully realized conventions. That's obviously the goal we all want, to get back to that level of normalcy. But the only way those things continue to happen is if we support them in the meantime, or otherwise there is a whole lot fewer booths and a whole lot fewer games and a whole lot fewer conventions to come back to when they do, when all this mess is finally over with. So please, everybody, take time, go do that. I'm looking to get involved with GaryCon myself. I'm trying to drag my friends right along with me into it. And hopefully we will all be, you'll see us doing some stuff during that weekend also. And we'll let you know more about all that as we make those details more solidified on our end. But without any further ado, does anyone else have anything else left they want to part with? I think we've covered all of our bases. As we're getting better at this stuff, I swear, by the week. As we get more and more we have to talk about. But Mimics and Monstrosities is playing some Dungeons and Dragons tonight, so I'm going to set us up a raid to go bother them.
Nice.
Do it.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, everybody.
Yeah,
thanks for coming by.
Everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good times.
Definitely appreciate it, folks.
Hey, thank you.
Hey,
Thank you for the gift subs.
Gift subs.
Nice.
Uncle Bo.
Uncle Bo hooking us up.
Uncle Bo's one of the players over at the Grouch Couch.
Sure is.
Small guy. Bo's awesome. So thank you, Bo. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Go say hi to Mimics and Monstrosities.
Good evening.
Fare thee well.